I'd like to welcome you all to the first episode of Auditor, Frauditor, or Idiot. This first episode is going to cover a YouTuber by the name of KULT News. KULT News is a self-proclaimed member of the press and photojournalist. Today's unfortunate recipient of his unwanted attention is the Fairfield County Library located in Lancaster, Ohio. Alright, so let's watch a little bit of his video and see what our freedom fighter is up to.
Meet Sally McWorrywart.
You are breaking the law.
Oh, this must be the introduction part. Might as well introduce the main character.
Hey everybody, KULT News back again with another video. This is actually the second half of our Lancaster, Ohio video.
Uh-oh. Now, wait a minute. Is he actually doing some photojournalism? Could I have been wrong about this guy?
If you want to see Officer Squires earlier in the day, go check out our first Lancaster video. I'll go ahead and post a link to it in the video description here. And we're out and about. We'll go ahead and pop in on the library if they're open.
Okay, that's better. Had me scared for a second. I thought maybe he was actually going to do something, normal and interesting.
This is the Fairfield County District Library. Now, I try to treat other people how I would want to be treated, and I'll be frank with you. Can I walk into a public library and take pictures, videos, and get kids in the... Yes, I can. I generally avoid that.
You generally avoid that? How about just avoid that? Don't do it.
I get it. I absolutely get people losing their freaking minds over... Well, maybe not losing their minds, but... I understand people not wanting their kids' pictures taken.
I'm no medical expert, but if 23 steps has you sounding like that, you might want to get yourself looked at, buddy.
These guys are open until 8 p.m. Holy cow. Nice. Oh, here we go. QR codes. Student health and well-being. You got QR codes. Take a picture of that. Boom. There you go. You guys are open until 8 p.m. tonight? What day of the week is today? It's a silly question. Today's Thursday? Holy shnikes. It sounds pretty quiet in here, right? Nobody's else. I try to come kind of later in the afternoon. I just want to get a few pictures of the library here. The library, I want to get a digital library of your library, per se. Do you guys can rent out music? Very cool. Well, I can't imagine it wouldn't be. Holy shnikes. There you go. Oh, they got movies too. This is like a Blockbuster. Holy shnikes. Look at that. Okay. Fairfield Library. You can rent movies. They got TV shows, series. You got all the Star Wars stuff. And I'm pretty sure it's free. Look at that. Blockbuster goes out of business, so these guys take over. This is free, right? One can rent movies for free.
Yes, and excuse me, sir. You need to get permission to do any kind of photography or videotape.
Oh yeah, no, I got permission. It's all good. Yeah, no, I definitely got permission.
See it then.
Now, we'll come back to this later in the video, but spoiler, he does not have permission.
Please.
You want to see my permission?
Yes.
Well, I got permission from...
I would have been told. I'm a supervisor.
I got permission from the owner of the building.
This is a library.
Yeah. Do you know who the owner of the building is?
I know who the library director is.
You know who?
I know there's a board of trustees.
But who owns the library? Do you know who the owner is, right?
Do I need to call the police?
Oh my goodness, why would you, my goodness, why would you call the police?
Why would you call police? To start with, a condescending prick is in her library, not listening to the rules and policies that are set forth by the board.
Because you're not answering my questions and you're not doing what I asked you to do, which is to stop videotaping.
But why do you want me to stop videotape? I don't understand what the concern is.
Because you need permission.
I have permission from the
No, you
owners of the
don't.
building. I most
No,
certainly,
you don't.
ma'am, then you do what you have to do. I have
Then you
permission.
need permission from the director.
Why would I have to have permission from the director? I have permission from the owner of the building.
No, you don't, sir.
I do. Do you know who the owner of the building is? Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted.
And here we go with the first lie. The people that like his videos, the people that don't like his videos, doesn't matter. Everyone knows that it has nothing to do with promoting the library. It's about causing conflict and getting clicks.
Check it out. They used to have Blockbuster, and now you can come to the public library, the Fairfield County Public Library, and you can check out movies.
Now, this is the first thing he said that I agree with. The state of America in 2024. Although I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
And music. Check it out. Music. They got everything. And it's kind of silly to be in the library and be told I can't take pictures, for crying out loud. How am I supposed to document this and send this back to friends and family?
Now, I'm not sure why he adds these little stupid additions of, oh, I'm going to send this to my friends and family. We all know that's not what he's doing. It's going on YouTube to be monetized for clicks and views. I don't know if it's a setup, so if he gets arrested, he can say, no, look, this is why. Either way, it's stupid.
Oh, there you go, Donny Osmond. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, I am happy to say I saw that musical in person with Donny Osmond, and he was spectacular. I'm a big Donny Osmond fan, have been since I was a little kid. Probably will be till the day I die.
Now I'm going to start fast forwarding through some of these parts because literally all he's doing is wandering around, waiting until the cops get there or one of the librarians comes back and talk to him for more confrontation.
Avoiding of getting anybody on the camera, literally just kind of showing family what we're talking about moving here, what you guys have in the library.
Now I'm not going to call him a liar here, but sure does seem like that's the same excuse he uses in every town.
Literally avoiding taking pictures or video of any people, including employees. And old Sally McWorryword over here is upset and thinking that somehow it's illegal for me to be taking pictures in a public library. That makes me sad.
Now I don't know about you all, but this freedom fighter out there fighting for my right to harass middle-aged librarian women just fills me with such American pride. I want to hold a flag in one hand and jack off a bald eagle with the other.
Is she a librarian? I mean, it's a public library. If you can't take pictures in a public library, holy cow, I'm going to have to check out a book on the First Amendment.
Hey guys, little reminder here that when we get to 100,000 subscribers, Stacy and I are getting married, and I'd like to make that happen sooner rather than later. Help us out. Go subscribe right now. Thanks.
Good Lord, if that ain't true love, I don't know what is. I mean, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think she's calling the police on me for taking pictures in the library.
But remember, folks, this is just a video so he can show his family back home what the library looks like.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can't videotape in the library
Why not?
because it's against the rules. You have to have permission from the director in order to videotape.
I have to have permission from the director?
Yes, you have to go to the director's office and get permission there for that.
I already got permission from the owner of the building, of the owner of the library.
If you're considering the public as the owner, that's not true. We are a limited public library.
So you're not, this isn't a public library?
It's a public library, but what's the phrase limited?
Federal courts have deemed public libraries to be a limited public forum.
Correct. Basically,
We
what
can
that,
restrict.
well, what that means is that I
Sir,
can't
we
come
can
in here and give a big giant speech.
No, you can't
Yeah,
videotape
I can't.
either.
I'm
No,
with
you
the
can't.
press, and I'm
Sir,
taking a few pictures
I
and
can
video.
call the police.
You do what you have to do, ma'am. I'm just taking a few pictures and documenting my journey here.
You cannot include any people without their permission. No
I'm in
staff
public,
member,
ma'am.
nobody from the
I'm
public.
in public.
can-
Lower your voice from
Sir,
the library.
Sir,
We're in a li-
you're
you
not
want to
listening
step
to
in
me.
here where we can talk privately, where we're not disturbing.
This is our code of conduct.
Ma'am,
Our code of conduct,
I understand. Come on in here. Come in here. Let's have a conversation like adults here.
sir.
If
I've
you
already
can't,
explained to you the rules.
thank you very much.
I've already explained to you the rules. You're violating the code of conduct.
Okay, but I'm not violating the law, ma'am. It's not against the law to take pictures in public.
You're violating.
I'll post some links in the description that go further into detail, and I'll show some screenshots here in a bit. But he is absolutely, completely wrong, and he's going to run into the wrong people at the wrong time, and he's going to end up in jail. But we'll continue.
In our code of conduct, I am permitted to ask you to leave the building.
Photography, videotaping of any kind within a library is prohibited without permission from a library supervisor. Interesting. Do I have to have permission from the library supervisor to practice my religion?
Yes, you idiot. If you went in there and tried to have a sermon with parishioners and pews and all that shit, yes, they would kick you out, and rightly so.
That's not under discussion.
Well, it's the
right
same.
now.
It's the same
It's our
amendment
code
to
of
the
conduct.
Constitution. May I get your name?
My name's Helen. I'm
My
one
name
of
is-
the
my name
supervisors
is
in the
Mike.
building today, and you need to talk to the director.
My name is Mike.
I'm glad to meet you, Mike.
are you the
Again,
su-
I'm letting you know.
Do you understand that I wasn't, until now, I wasn't really taking pictures of any people. I was very quietly, dare I say reverently, walking through the library, doing a little,
It doesn't matter. Go ahead and read
can I
that to
have
me
this?
again.
I can have
Yes,
this,
that's
right?
your copy.
Yeah, well, you want me to read the part that you guys just wrote in there? Photography, videotape. It's the First Amendment, man.
Actually, the First Amendment says that you have freedom of the press. You can print anything you want. What you can't do is harass librarians and patrons and call it press.
I'm not in here giving a speech. I understand federal courts have said that
I have permission
it is a limited
to
public
ask
forum.
you to leave the building. If
For-
you don't comply to the code of
For
conduct,
breaking the law.
if you don't, if you do not comply to the code of conduct,
And the code of conduct is unconstitutional. You can't think the code of conduct is that to be a Jew.
you may take that up with our board. They meet on, I think it's the second or third Tuesday.
I
of the month.
suspect I'll take it up with the police when they show up.
Okay.
You have yourself a good day. I'll probably be gone by the time they get here, for crying out loud. I'm embarrassed for you. Jeez.
Sir,
Ma'am,
you may turn off.
I am not turning off anything. I am very quietly, respectfully documenting my journey. I came here in 1976 with my brother and did some stuff, and now I'm coming back and I'm doing a little story, and I'm documenting that.
I
It is
hear
not against the
everything
law.
that you're
I am
saying, but
with
you're
the-
still
yeah.
breaking the code of conduct. I've
The
explained this to
free
you.
press can't
I
be
have
against
to
the code of
ask you to
conduct.
leave the building
And I'm
now.
going to ask you to leave me alone.
No.
Free press is not against the law.
Jean,
Call the...
still here?
Ridiculous. There you go. Boom. Books on CD. It's a relatively small library. Crazy people. I stepped out of the library. I'm going to stand outside. I think I called the cops. I'm going to wait for the cops to show up. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, can I take pictures on the sidewalk too? Or are you going to go crazy on that as well? I'm not yelling at you for crying out. Oh, grow up. You think I'm yelling at you right now? I'm sorry, are you going to tell me I can't stand? I'm not yelling at you.
Yes, you are.
Am
Why are
I?
you yelling at me?
She thinks this is yelling at her right now. She thinks I'm yelling at her. Again, can I take pictures on the sidewalk?
You're not permitted to take my picture without my permission. You are breaking the law. I'm out of here.
You think it's against the law for me to take a picture? Bless your heart. You're not too bright, are you?
What a fine, upstanding gentleman he is.
Well, there you heard it. The lovely librarian thinks it's against the law for me to take her picture. Bless her heart.
Hi. You guys called?
Yeah, they're here. I'm on the phone with Becky at the moment.
Okay.
There's a gentleman in here, our code of conduct says you cannot videotape in here without permission from the director, and he would not listen to me, he would not stop. Then he went outside, he was videotaping Helen. That's one of the reasons why we don't want this. We don't want people's privacy invaded.
Yeah, he's been going around to different businesses today and doing it, so you guys aren't the first ones
Yeah,
to call.
he told
so.
me he was making a journey, that he had lived in this area before and he was just visiting all the places he'd been before. But in a public place, you know, you can't go around breaking people's privacy.
Right.
And our code of conduct says you can't do it, so we have to uphold our code of conduct.
Okay.
But as for, yeah, I agree. It's not against the law, but it's against our code of conduct.
Right. Well, we can go out there and tell him not to be videotaping inside or anything like
Yeah,
that.
not inside, not people. But unfortunately, I'm on videotape asking him not to tape me, so.
Yeah.
And I'm probably on there telling him.
And I did make the mistake, you know, when you get nervous and you just start, and you say the wrong word, and I said, instead of saying you're breaking code of conduct, I said, you're breaking the law. And then he started yelling at me. He's like, are you some kind of idiot? So I just asked him if he was yelling at me. I'm not yelling at you. Do you think this is yelling at me? You? Yeah, but I don't care. I'm going back in. People are not fun some days.
Now you can see these ladies are visibly upset. One of these days, they're not going to call the cops. They're going to call their husband or their son, who since the age of 14 or 15 has been throwing around 50, 60, 70-pound bales of hay. And that person's going to come and stomp a hole in his ass. And it's going to take the 1988 gold medal winning Olympic tug-of-war team to pull that guy's foot out of his ass.
They are not. So I'll just let him know that it's your guys' policy that you can't videotape inside the library. If he does, he can be asked to leave. So
Right.
if he doesn't leave, when he's
Then-
asked to leave, then he can be trespassed. So
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And if you could let him know that.
Yeah,
That-
and that we're not asking to have him trespassed right now, but if he does it again, we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as him being on the sidewalk, there's really nothing
It's
we can do
public
about
property,
that.
but
So,
still,
like if you're sitting here,
videotaping people without their permission is just an unkind, nasty thing to do. I know it happens all the time, but
yeah, it does, and unfortunately, with him being in the public, there's really not much we can do about that. So, but
At least
try to
he's
make
outside now
Right.
and not.
so I'm sure once we tell him that, he'll move along because he started all the way on East Main Street and is just working his way this way. So, don't really know what his deal is, what he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish, but it is what it is. So I'm going to move along. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
and
no problem.
Appreciate you. Hope your day night gets better.
Thank you.
Suck that gal straight. She's kind of crazy. She thought it was illegal for me to take pictures of her from the sidewalk, for God's sake.
Yeah, so I told her that.
Lunatic.
I told her that it's completely legal. Hi, I'm Officer Snyder, Lancaster Police
I
Department.
appreciate it. I met Officer Squires earlier today.
Yep, I think he's actually on his way right now. So
Hear about our little, my brother and I. Oh, he'll tell you. He'll tell
all
you.
right.
He'll tell you.
Yep, but they mainly just don't want you inside filming. They
Let
said
me
you-
ask him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So they said it's against our policy. I said, it's against your policy that I'm a Jew? No, that's ridiculous. I said, because it's covered under the same First Amendment. Freedom of press. Now, she said, oh, libraries, the courts have determined that libraries are a limited public forum. I said, I agree. We're on the same page now. We are. There's a time, place, and manner for things like what I do. I'm a photojournalist. Jelly bean?
Oh, no, thank you.
They've been in my pocket. They're
no,
real warm and soft.
Not a big candy person.
Again, I'm getting really weird vibes about this dude. Not saying anything, just saying he seems weird at times.
So, long story short, time, place, and manner. When I walked in here, and I was very polite, you know, I went over here and documented all the, it's wild, did you know? Me personally, I would not take pictures of kids. I just don't. You know, I know how people are. They're like, oh, my kids are in. So I just, boom, like that. I'm walking past the kid.
I'm going to fast forward through here. He blabs to the cop for 15 minutes about nonsensical, stupid shit. And then goes back in, walks around a little bit. You can see by the look on the cop's face how the conversation goes.
Well, that was fun. That's the Fairfield County District Library. And I would encourage anyone within the sound of my voice to feel free, if you live in the area, feel free to swing by the Fairfield County District Library and exercise your First Amendment right to take photos and videos in public. And she is right about that libraries are not what one would consider to be a traditional public forum, such as the sidewalk. Sidewalk is very much a traditional public forum. That's why you see Jehovah's Witnesses out on the sidewalks, you know, peddling their wares, because nobody can hassle them. They can stand on a public sidewalk handing out flyers and pamphlets all day long, and perfectly legal, perfectly legal. But if, say, Jehovah's Witnesses went into a library and they were doing that, that is not legal. It is not a traditional public forum. It is what's known as a limited public forum. But a limited public forum, there's never been a court case that I am aware of. And by all means, the people that call us frauditors and lose their freaking minds over somebody taking pictures and video in public, perhaps one of them can steer me in the direction of a case law that says I'm wrong.
Okay. I mean, it literally took me about 12 seconds on Google, but I realized that that might be a bit much for y'all to, handle. So I went ahead and did it for you. Okay, so Kreimer versus Board of Police of Morristown, New Jersey. Basically, it's an appellate court decision addressing the library's right to prohibit certain things. According to the Kreimer opinion, other activities, including activities such as photography, filming, petition gathering, assemblies, and public speeches, may be regulated by the library using reasonable, viewpoint-neutral time, place, and manner rules. Let's go a little deeper. Let's read a little more about their opinion. Given the possible chilling effect on individuals' library usage, the threat to the library usage right to privacy, and the potential threat of harassment posed by third-party photography or recording, it is reasonable for the library to regulate that behavior in a manner that preserves the individual patron's right to receive information free from harassment, intimidation, threats to their safety, well-being, and privacy rights, using policies and procedures developed in accordance with the Intellectual Freedom Committee guidelines for development of policies and procedures regarding use, behavior, and library usage. And further down, the act of photographing or filming the activities of library users by a third party has generally been addressed as a behavior issue. So, yes, they can tell you you can't. Yes, if you refuse to do it, they can trespass you. And yes, if you refuse to leave, you can be arrested. So, is there anything else you'd like for us to provide for you, or what?
But generally speaking, the free press is not restricted from taking pictures and video in public. They're just not. It is a limited public forum, which means I can indeed walk into a public library and peacefully and quietly take pictures and video.
You are correct, up until the point they tell you you have to leave if you continue to do it.
I could have a body cam on, and just like the police. When the police walk into a public library, are they breaking the law? Of course not. It's ridiculous.
This is the kind of stupid, flawed logic you get from these idiots. You know, I expect one of them to stab somebody and then go, well, if a surgeon stabs somebody with a scalpel, are they breaking the law? No, of course not. Went in and fast forwarded through the last part. It's basically him huffing his own farts, trying to get people to go in there and harass the librarians, and then wanders around for another 20 minutes or so with bonus footage, and then tries to get you to buy some of his junk-ass t-shirts. Either way, I think it's pretty clear he's a frauditor. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like and subscribe and tell me in the comments. If it goes over well, I'll make some more. Thank you.